Hello Terraria enthusiasts, my name is James and today we have been given our first big Terraria Otherworld spoiler in what seems like many months. A month ago we got a quick update on what's going on with the project. Apparently we've got some new lead people in from Engine Software themselves and it seems to be shaping up in kind of a new way than what we originally imagined Terraria Otherworld to be. But that's still cool. But anyway, so this is the first big screenshot that we've had in a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down from the top left, and I'm going to just work my way slowly to the right, talk about all the things that I like and that I've seen, all the things that I think are new, just breaking it down completely, and I'll try and work in as much history of the game as I already know. For example, there are a few things in here that we have seen about a year ago. So if I start in the top left, as you can see, we have this brand new weapon, right? So this is part of Terraria Otherworld itself. And now, the first thing I thought of when I was actually, trying to work out where this screenshot came from is who's taking the screenshot. So as you can see, this does actually sync up with our character, Mrs. Biome, right? And this is a little inside joke between the two people here, because one character is called Mr. Ocean and one person is called Mrs. Biome. I thought that was pretty funny. So this weapon, we can already confirm, is a grenade launcher. So as you can see on the screen, it's doing 20 to 26 damage. That seems to be its base damage. That doesn't seem to be critical strike chance. And as you can see, the character, Mrs. Biome, has leveled up. She has now got Explosive Mastery Trainee, which means that damage output has been increased, which is really cool. So that's our first actual screenshot of the leveling system. So we now know that it does just upgrade as you use it. So as you can see in the picture, Mrs. Biome has fired one explosion and killed a super shark with 26 damage. And like you can see, it's done multiple damage in one hit. And you can see here, she's actually homing in on the second shot that Mr. Ocean is actually facing up against. Now, we don't know what weapon Mr. Ocean is holding exactly, but if you take a look above the super shark Mrs. Biome is going after, you can see this massive arrow striking down through the heart of it. And to my understanding, I imagine it's some kind of long-range falling star ranged attack, essentially. So that is a big giant arrow striking through the heart of the super shark, and that is his weapon. Now on the ground here, you can actually see some of these sharks dropping these keys, and we actually have the keys in the person's inventory. Now I don't know exactly what they're for. It does seem a little bit odd though, right? Keys, I mean, there was never really a big deal of getting keys in, Terraria itself. However, back in the day, you would have to get keys to actually open up stuff like floating islands and such. You don't have to do that anymore. But it may be something like that again. Like maybe you have to go to the ocean biome to get keys for chests in the world. So that's my theory for now. Obviously, I don't know exactly what it's all about. I just want to take a moment to appreciate some of the world gen here. So as you can see from these blocks, we have the little parts of the ocean that are actually the foreground. But then the background blocks sync up nicely with the foreground. As you can see, the background is, given this layered effect that we don't get in Terraria. So it's giving it kind of a 3D effect in some kind of a way. I really, really like it. So Mrs. Biome here, she's taking a little bit of damage. I'm not sure exactly how she's taking this damage. She's taking 2. That might be her. It might be some kind of resource being used. I'm not too sure on that one, but it does seem to be some kind of damage. Maybe it's that electrified fish that's just to the right of her. Maybe that's the case. But what she is using is a swinging grapple hook. Now, we did actually see this in a trailer a few months ago, a little bit closer to a year. And so that's cool. So it's cool to see that it works underwater. How it works underwater, whether it's slowed down or not, is something we will find when we actually play the game. And then for the last of the water section, I just want to talk about in the bottom right, we can actually see this natural world generation where there is a cooking pot and there is a little skeleton goblin guarding a pot. So that, to me, that makes me think that they've not been there. That cooking pot is natural. But then again, there is a torch there. So you just never know with these kind of things. But that is very cool. Now, to talk about at the top of the ocean biome, we can see that we have these coconuts on the floor, and they're next to the tree. So these coconuts are something that we have seen in the player's inventory in the screenshot already. Thought that was pretty cool. Next to it is some kind of crafting bench that has been upgraded to an alchemy station. It's got a bottle on it, it's got a potion on it. I think that's pretty cool. And then to the left of it, it looks like we have our bed. Like, it looks like a bed to me, like a tiki bed. Kind of like the ocean biome beds that we already get in the game. And then for me, I personally believe that's everything new in the screenshot. Obviously, there is a lot here, like we get a look at the actual world generation of the ocean biome. We get a look at some of the foliage on the floor. We get a look at some of the microfish. It seems like, yeah, it seems like they just have fish lying around anyway. Maybe we'll be able to interact with them, maybe we won't. But I just really like everything about it. I think Terraria Otherworld is shaping up to be something amazing. So there is something I noticed in the press release of this that you guys might want to know about. So when Loki was talking about it, he spoke about that multiplayer is now done. So that's something that's, pretty good. It's not done, it's being worked on. So this is, something that's new in the past week, apparently. And he also says in his little description that we'll be seeing more over the weeks and months. So if that gives you any clue as to how long we have with Terraria Otherworld, I think it's months. I think we're a long way off the game being completed. I don't think this is them kind of sneaking in a surprise release anytime soon. This does look like a very polished screenshot, but we've seen polished screenshots with updates in the past that have taken a really long time, and we know how much effort and hard work goes into making Terraria, and we know Relogic has never released a game or an update that is incomplete, right? Look at 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. All of these updates took a year and a half. They could have released it in slow doses. They could have released it when it wasn't done, but they're the kind of people that don't do that. So when I see weeks and months, I think it's months, maybe close to a year. I'm not too sure. They may try and release it around May next year for all of the big console updates that we're getting. I just don't know, but that's just my speculation right there. Anyway, this is super long, but if you'd like to see some more Terraria news, make sure to click that subscribe button. I like to keep everybody up to date with what's going on in the community and what's going on news-wise, and I feel like we have had a nice little discussion about this, but if I have missed anything, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'm sure I can do a follow-up video, but I feel like I cracked everything. Anyway, guys, have an absolutely awesome day. Let me know what you think about this spoiler, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.